this is my week 6 video journal. It's really coming close to the end. It's getting scary. So let's start with Monday. I was working on the Lolita Storm inspired song. I removed the second part from it because it was too out of place. So the second part, it was with this like synth. It would like modulate the notes so it would kind of sound different. It was like a broken sound, and I chopped it up and added like bass drum, but I removed that part because it just didn't match with like Lolita Storm or just digital hardcore in general. But I screen recorded it and I just saved it, so maybe I can use it another time. I started writing lyrics for it, obviously inspired by Lolita Storm lyrics. I'm going to talk about those later in the video. So they're like quite cheeky. Yeah. Then I added a new section with a pounding bass drum. And I noticed that placing drum notes in the grid is easier for me now. I'm not constantly moving them around, but I was doing an easy rhythm, so it wouldn't be that hard anyway. But I'm just showing my improvement in my production skills over the time of the project. I added an aim and break loop for the next section and had an interrupting one bar of it in the bass drum part, inspired by Atari Teenage Riot's Raver Bashing. There's a bit in that song, it's like a drum part, and then there's like a main guitar sample which comes in later, but the drum part is going, and it like the guitar part like has a section in it that's kind of like teased for a short bit, and then it actually starts and plays, if that makes sense. So I wanted to do that, like teasing it before it comes. It adds more it makes it less boring basically, and it like makes it fit in better in the song, so it's not as out of place, because all the sections kind of sound different. So there was the bass drum part, I think. Yeah, bass drum part. Then it will be the aim and break, and then back to the bass drum part, and then the aim and break would actually start. So it's like teases the chorus, and I wanted in the lyrics as well for like a line of the chorus lyric to be sung in the aim and break part, because the aim and break part is the chorus. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Then I chopped up the aim and break and I wrote light work because I found it very easy and quick, and I'm happy with the product. I'm happy with how it turned out. I've definitely improved a lot, especially with chopping up breaks, because I remember how bad I struggled in the first week with doing it, but now it's simple. So I just chopped up the aim and break, and I used reverse on a snare for a cool effect. So it like plays a snare and then the same snare, but it's reversed, so it like transitions into the second snare. It's cool. And I wrote more lyrics and added effects to everything. And then I added the kick drum part again from the pre-chorus, but with a variation in the rhythm. And I wrote that I didn't know how to bring back the first section, which was the sequencer, because it sounded very different to the other parts, especially with like the actual instrument that I use has quite an atmospheric, echoey sound, which is kind of juxtaposes the rest of it, which is very blunt and rough and just jagged. So that's what I did that day. I think it was quite productive. I'm happy with the lyrics that I was writing, and I think it's it's definitely coming together, sounding like my inspiration, Lydia Storm, and it's definitely showing all my improvements in my production skills and songwriting skills and lyric writing skills. Yeah, something I can improve on. I don't know on this day in specifically, but yeah. Tuesday. First, I took some promo photos for Noyes for his project. Then after that, I went back to Logic and I tried to transition the Amen break chorus into the sequencer part. Or I was trying to do it, that was my goal. I used Chromaverb, but it didn't sound right, which is like a reverb setting. So I was thinking that Amen break would like drag and then the sequencer part would start, but it just didn't sound good. It just didn't flow well. I tried putting a reverse crash at the end of it instead, but it just sounded choppy and it still just wasn't right. I chopped up the crash and repeated it into reverse. So I think I like sliced it up into small bits and then so it would play the crash, chop, 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 and then reverse crash and go into the sequence a bit, but it just didn't transition well. Mark suggested that the automation should rise up to make a drop. So I think that's what I did, because I didn't say anything else about it. So for the automation, at the end of the Amen break, I made it a slope to go up. So it would rise and then drop, I guess, in the sequencer part. I'm still not that happy with how it sounds because it's not, the transition just, I don't know, it just sounds odd. The part sounds off, but I don't want to change the instrument because I really like how it sounds. It just doesn't really match with the other ones. But I think once I add the vocals, it should balance out and it won't be that noticeable. I added a kick drum line to the second sequencer part to add some variation, make it more interesting, but it didn't line up and it just sounded bad. So I just didn't use it. I added the bass drum part and the chorus part again after the second sequencer part, with the chorus repeating once to finish off the song. And I finished writing the lyrics, filmed a video journal, updated Wix, changed the fonts on the website, and spent the rest of the day unproductive. So I think this was still a fairly productive day because I finished doing the instrumental part of the song and I finished writing the lyrics. But I think I could have done some research instead of not doing anything at the end of the day. I've never wrote lyrics that quick. I never really write lyrics anyway, but I don't know, they're simple. I feel like every time I've tried to write lyrics, it has to be really meaningful and like have like, I don't know, metaphors and stuff and like big words, but that just makes it's just overcomplicated and I'm not that good with writing anyway, so it just doesn't work out, especially when I don't have anything motivating me to write something meaningful. I'm just forcing myself to do it just because I think that I have to. But like Lolita Storm, their lyrics are not meaningful. They're just like childish, simple, repetitive, kind of funny, tongue-in-cheek. So I took that approach and I think it was way more effective than a different approach to take. With the Zebras in America lyrics, I tried making them like political, I guess, but I don't know, they're still just simple. I'm not really saying anything meaningful in them. As I was saying, I'm not making a big statement. I lost my train of thought, my storage ran out. Not making a big statement, I'm just saying stuff that it's just lukewarm commentary, basically. Social commentary. So I think it's still like okay, but I think since from now I should, whenever I write lyrics, I shouldn't try make it mean more than it should. I don't know. So today was good. Shows my problem solving skills. I guess I didn't really solve the problem that well, the problem being transitioning back into the sequencer section. But I tried different methods to do it. And experimenting like this with different techniques makes me learn logic more, learn the techniques more, just by finding out myself, just by doing whatever. So it improves my production skills and technical skills with logic. And on Thursday, I wanted to record vocals, but the studio was booked, and the studio's booked today as well, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I emailed to book the studio, and I did research on the band Fetishism's Instagram account, because they have good promotion, and I want my promotion to be inspired by them. I think they have a really good approach to it. I added some work to Wix, and the last half an hour was unproductive. So that day was just whatever, I don't know. I'm glad I finally did some research, because I haven't been doing that, and there's only 2 weeks left, and I need to get probably one more piece of written research. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. But let me talk about my lyrics now. Let's find them. Okay, here they are. I'm gonna do like a genius analysis of my lyrics. So for the first, okay, Lolita Storm lyrics, a lot of the time they have like sexual themes, but also themes of adolescence and I don't know. Of course, the theme of they have a lot of chanting, like nursery rhyme type things, repetitive elements. So their songs are really catchy. So for the first verse, I'm just doing this like every line rhymes. On the outside, I'm so shy, but in my dreams, I'm quite the guy. Girls, they line up left and right, and all the boys just want to bite. This is just talking about sexual dreams, that's just it. It's quite simple, but it's just kind of fun. Simple rhyming scheme, simple lyrics. Yeah. For the pre-chorus, for the bass drum part, I was inspired by the flow of one of their songs. I don't remember which one, but it's a very similar flow. And for the lyrics, I was inspired by their song Slave Boy, where they say, "Submit to me, be my slave boy." I wanted to kind of do something like that. I like the vibe. So the lyrics are, "So come submit to me, you know I have what you want, don't resist it please." And then a background vocal, "Come and get it." The song will be called Come and Get It. Which, this is what I was talking about with the amen break split in it. Because the chorus is just going to be the same phrase repeated. So in the amen break bit that interrupts the bass drum, I'm going to be saying come and get it, because it's teasing the chorus. And then after that, is it sick of me that I want more, 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 it's all I wanna be. And then the chorus, come and get it, la 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 la, 4 times in a row. So it's, yeah, they have a lot of like la 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 na 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 vocalizing, because it's like, I don't know, it's kind of childish, but it's catchy and melodic. Then, oh yeah, there's another bass drum part. I want your hands, this is the one with the variation in the rhythm. I want your hands on my waist, I want you in control, I want you from behind until you make me blank. So, no rhyming scheme for this one. Oh yeah, there wasn't, yeah, rhyming. The rhyming is only in the sequencer part. This is kind of like in I Love Weed or I Love Speed. It's kind of the same kind of structure, where they have the sequencer part, which is more like nursery rhyme, and then when the like hard beat comes in, they start just like shouting and being less like melodic and like rhyming. And then the chorus repeats again. Then another sequencer bit. This one has 2 rhyming bits. Come here baby, don't hold back, we're flesh and bone, so let's just crack. Maybe you can be my slave so you can please me every day. I don't know what to say about it, to be honest, but yeah, very, I don't know, cheeky is just the only word I can really think to describe it. And then the bass drum part, the pre-chorus repeats again. Just come submit to me, you have a la la la, but it's shorter, so it doesn't have the amen break spliced in. And then the chorus repeating twice. So those are the lyrics. I think I did a good job at emulating Lolita Storm lyrics, because I already mentioned what they have, but I included, when I was making this song, before I would come in college, I'd be listening to Lolita Storm, so I could like notice the stuff they do in their songs and implement it into mine. So I was really paying attention to the lyrics and just picking out stuff that I could notice in all of their songs in my head, so I could do it in mine. And I think this was good, because my lyrics have all the themes and the recurring themes and stuff that they have. So I think I did a good job, and it shows my improvement in lyric writing skills, I wouldn't say research, I didn't really do research, but it's like fitting the brief. I don't know if that's a skill, but I fit my brief to make a Lolita Storm inspired song. So yeah, I think this week was pretty good, but the only thing I would change is that I need to record the lyrics, and if I recorded them last week, it would have been a lot better. So if I need to improve my planning skills, and I should have planned when I would have recorded the vocals in advance and booked the date, so I wouldn't have to worry about it this last minute, since we have only 2 weeks left and I still need to promote this. So I think I only have like a week to promote it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I won't have that many videos, but you know, in my last project I was more focused on the promotion, but in this one I was more focused on the music, which is a good thing, but now I'm just kind of lost. I don't know what to do for the promotion. I did that research, so I kind of have an idea, and I want to film a video today with Harry promoting I Love Weed. But I guess I'll have to be doing this like every day and editing, which is going to be a lot of effort, but I think I can do it, and I just need to really lock in and use my editing skills, marketing skills, and all of that good stuff. So how is this going to help me in the future? Well, it shows that I can write a song with a brief, I guess, and that I'm capable of producing and writing lyrics on a song. So there you go. Wish me luck for this week.